find that email again.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I'd like to call the February 19th Halfmoon Township Board of Supervisors meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I will now open public comments for anything not on the agenda. Yes.
Cliff Neal, and I'm here on behalf of Port Matilda EMS. I would like to put out to the community a reminder that we're dependent upon your memberships to help keep us running, and we're still running around 20% of people returning those memberships, so your support would be great, very much appreciated. And I'm also here to answer any questions that you might have for Port Matilda EMS. Yes, sir.
Do we use a third party for that activity?
For billing? For memberships, yes, we do.
So they should know who has responded and who has not.
Yes.
Why wouldn't we have an activity, maybe a little group effort here in the communities, to follow up with some of those folks that have not responded to see if we can't rattle the tree a little bit? And,
honestly, I've done that on social media, and that's also one of the reasons I'm sitting at this table right now, is to reach out. I think there's a percentage of people that probably will not contribute towards a membership.
Oh, sure.
And just so you'll know, Bruce, in this area, we are doing better than most every other EMS service. The average is about 13 to 14% return on membership. Now, the thing that people may not be aware of is membership has a lot of benefits. Number one, if you are covered for an emergency call, we take your membership and insurance, and that's all you're ever going to see for a bill. If there's additional fees, they're not going to be sent to the person that's a member. And we also offer classes, first aid, CPR, things like that throughout the year that are also free to members. So there's benefits in addition to helping us stay afloat.
All right.
So
should the EMS consider maybe that we wanted to retry something like I just suggested? I'd be willing to help.
Honestly, I'd be willing to try anything, but I've been doing this a very long time, and I can tell you that the success rate on memberships for some reason is not nearly as high as I think it might be, but that's an individual decision. But I mean, you buy a family membership, it covers everybody in your house, basically. For
those of us who are members, really know the benefits.
So,
one other question I had related.
Yes.
I just heard on the news this week that both the fire company and EMS received an $18,000 grant. I assume that's a 50-50 split there. Was that something you were expecting, or was it?
It's something we applied for.
Okay.
It's the Fire Commissioner's grant, and for EMS it's $15,000.
$15,000.
Typically it's a bit less for EMS than fire, but anything is welcome. Okay. And now that's when we if there's a grant out there, our grant writer Susan Person is gifted in making things happen and getting the applications in and making sure they get followed up on.
So you said that was 15 for the EMS?
Yes.
Was that in your budget for the year?
No, we can't budget it because we don't know if we're going to get it for certain. But
all right.
But it will be included, I think, as the budget goes forward now, and you see the reports that come out from the Board of Directors fact sheet that we put out. Also, the municipality should be getting that, I think. Okay, I put that out to social media. I'm just waiting for a correction we had on the most recent one to put it out to the social media sites. But that we can't budget that in because it's not guaranteed until we physically get the.
Okay, thank you.
Cliff, does that grant have restrictions on it?
They all have restrictions that you can't use them to pay staff.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that's for us. That's the biggest hardship for EMS agencies is you can't get volunteers anymore. If you can, it's a rarity. And to pay staffing, they have to be physically sitting at the station if they're going to respond within minutes. to get to a heart attack or a stroke or even heavy bleeding, something that requires responding in a very timely fashion. And none of the grants that we get allow us to pay salary with it. So I wish there was a way to do that, because that would make life a lot better for all the EMS agencies across the Commonwealth.
One of your biggest expenses, so yeah.
It's why most places go under. Most of the smaller EMS services that have collapsed financially, and there's a lot of them in Pennsylvania in the last 2 or 3 years, it's because they can't get staffing.
And if I can, I know we've talked about this before, Cliff, and I know I brought it up at this meeting, but just to help Bruce along, because you were asking about EMS and insurance payments and stuff like that. One thing to know, that even if you are a member, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Cliff, but if you are a member of the EMS and you need EMS services, you will not get a bill. They may bill your insurance.
Right,
Your
yeah.
insurance will send a reimbursement check to you, the person, and not going to the EMS. So it's upon individuals' good faith that they return that check to the emergency services. And that's a legislative problem. Am I correct in terms of that check from insurance not going directly to the emergency services, going to the insurance holder?
That's true with some, but not all insurers. It depends how the policy is set up.
Yeah, yeah. So in some cases, individuals are getting paid for that insurance run in the ambulance, and the money's not going to the EMS. So
Unfortunately, that's not uncommon. So.
yes. So
Any other questions?
I believe Ron might have a question. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yeah, you have
Ron.
to point those up for me.
is Ron and Lauren on?
Yes.
I did have my hand up.
Yes, sir.
It's not all of the insurance companies that send the reimbursement checks to the patient. Some of them do send them directly to EMS or to whoever the service is. I just wanted to point that out.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cliff did clarify that.
Any other questions? I'm not used to looking at the board, but I will scan over there now.
You'll have to do it too.
I
I
don't,
do have another question if I can ask.
certainly, for me.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay. What was it? How is your transport van operation?
It's actually making some significant improvements lately, so we are working, I'm not going to name the facility, but we're working with a facility that liked our service, and they actually have contacted Jack Bonsall, the EMS captain, to potentially get a contract, and we've actually picked up a number of runs. I was just at the station today talking to the head of the van service and also Jack.
Thank you.
Certainly. Other questions of any kind?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Cliff.
Anyone else from the public? No? Anybody online, Amy? No? Okay, great. Thank you. We'll close public comments, and we will move on to reports. We'll start with authorities, boards, and commissions reports. And first one up is the Open Space Board. Last night's meeting, Mr. Laird came and reviewed the forecasting spreadsheet, explained how input data was determined, and presented 5, 10, and 15-year forecast models, as well as a model that showed what things would look like if there were no permanent preservation pursued. The board determined that the 10-year forecast scenario was the most logical to use as our baseline for forecasting as we discuss potential properties for preservation. And that was the main focus. We talked a little bit about our strategy, and that we would work on that more for next month for going into the year. And then we just reviewed where properties were in the pipeline and channel. So that was it. Planning Commission. Amy, do you have anything for that other than what's?
I don't have anything to add to what's there.
What's been reported? Okay, thank you. And COG and regional committees reports. Executive Committee was just on Tuesday. Following items were approved to be included in the February General Forum meeting: proclamation of Black History Month, purchase of a V-plow for the Alpha Fire Company, and for the March General Forum meeting, they approved sending to General Forum the Meeks Lane Pump Station Special Study and its recommendation for Alternative D, following the 30-day public comment period. So if it is approved, it will then come to the municipalities for approval. And that was the highlights of the Executive Committee. Anything from Tammy? We'll just go down through. Tammy, do you have anything on your committees?
Yeah, finance, I actually wasn't able to be there. Patty was out of town. I did touch base with the committee prior to the meeting. Pretty much was spending the meeting wrapping up some of the fund balance policies that they've been working on so that can get to the general forum. And Upper Bald Eagle COG was 2 weeks ago now, I guess. Pretty quick meeting. Nothing, I mean, we're, obviously it's the beginning of the year for budget wise. Port Matilda EMS, Cliff, indicated, well, not Cliff, but Mark indicated that you guys are pretty tight on staff, down on staff, but doing your best. So I know that's tough and appreciate you guys doing your best on that. I also want to make note that I learned after our January Upper Bald Eagle COG meeting that it was a joint effort on behalf of our EMS and our fire company that they saved a life over the New Year's. So that is very important to make sure that you guys get the recognition, and that's why we have our emergency services, is to save those lives. So we appreciate that, and please extend that appreciation to the EMS. Port Matilda Fire Company banquet is going to be April 18th, and I think they're looking to recognize their top volunteers from each municipality again.
Is that a public event, the banquet? Or is that just internal to?
I think it's for fire company members.
Okay.
I'd have to find out. I'd have to ask if it's, I'm not sure.
All right.
I don't know the answer to that.
We have plenty of time to find out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, April 18th on that. And really, no discussion on the funding formula. We're waiting on townships to have their discussions and vote. The borough and Houston did indicate that they did meet and did voted to approve the funding formula. So hopefully in the next couple months, it'll come back to the COG agenda. And I think that's my committees. That's it.
Bruce? Yeah.
Public Safety Committee met on the 10th. 3 points of interest. Walt Schneider, the CR Codes Director, basically nominated 3 candidates who are currently members of the Building and Housing Board of Appeals that are up for re-election. All 3 were carried forward to be elected again. That'll be done in the COG General Forum. Patty did mention the V-plow. The dollar amount on that was some $7,575 from Valley Truck. That, I guess, is going to move forward. We don't vote on that, by the way. Halfmoon and Harris don't vote on those kinds of things because we're not covered by that group. There was also a rather lengthy discussion regarding Penn State's winter weekend, which included the outdoor hockey game with Michigan State. 54,000 fans attended there. A lot of lessons learned, I guess, because there were so many concurrent activities around town and on campus. Notably the parking. Apparently things went very well in terms of shuttling folks from paved parking lots all over the region there. This is the outdoor activity at Beaver Stadium. That's not the right term anymore. I'm sorry, I can't remember the real name. At any rate, all across the Big Ten, this is what's happening now. So we're entering a new paradigm in terms of how non-football events are being scheduled there. So they're planning to benchmark the best practices. So that was that. I also attended the Center County MPO, Metropolitan Planning Organization Technical Committee. This is a very, very complex group, and they attend to an awful lot of business, so I asked the public to bear with me as I get up to speed on this. The meeting was nearly 2 hours long. I guess the highlights there was a consent agenda approved, which included a bunch of reports and, of course, the minutes from the previous meeting. Kevin James, the project manager, SCAC project manager, provided an update on the connector project. That's of great interest, I guess, countywide, obviously, since we're all impacted by that two-lane 322 situation. Where it stands right now, the plan is at final draft. They'll have a 30-day public comment through April and May. There's also a transit a transit piece to that for about $36 million. The overall connector project's about $250 million, spanning a 4-year plan. Mr. Saylor presented the annual committee work plan status. This is all the other projects that are happening. It's based on the original 2023 strategic plan, which gets rolled every 2 years. It was basically just a lot of updates there. Marcella Hoffman from the staff gave a number of other updates on projects, about $11 million worth of budget there. $1.6 million has been awarded grants and 9.1 more pending. These are planning and implementation support, safety planning, resilience planning, safety technology implementation. There was a vote on, it's a unanimous vote, 18 voting members on this committee. Unanimous vote for an engineering study for the top of the mountain, the Port Mountaintop, Route 322. There's a pull-off for trucks being proposed there. This is on the downhill side, so before those trucks come roaring down into Port Matilda, they want to have a pull-off there, mandatory thing, I guess, so they know
Like they have on Seven Mountains?
Yes. I assume that's
Similar
the case.
to that, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. So there's a $360,000. We approved the engineering study at $360,000. Also, very lengthy committee discussion regarding a proposal to restructure the whole technical committee, which would reduce the number of voting members down to anywhere from between 6 and 11. I don't fully understand all those workings yet. Couple announcements of note. There were many. The staff are once again planning to offer an updated session of MPO 101 to new members, partner agency staffs, other regional decision makers, interested parties, and such. This is slated for Monday, March 16th. I'll try to attend that one. It's really focused on the MPO basics, the organizational history and structure, what are the federally required processes and documents, and so forth. Also of note, on Monday the 30th of March, the committee will be hosting its first ever transportation grant workshop. It will cover what makes an application competitive, how to align projects with plans and data, build realistic project, the scope and budget and so forth. Registration is required for that. I haven't checked my calendar yet, but I'll try to attend that one as well. Sorry for the length of that.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Lauren, do you have any updates other than what's in your reports?
I do. I attended the February 6th Lucy meeting, and kind of redundant, HRG Engineering did present the Meeks Lane pump station upgrade, which you mentioned, and there was that choice that they made, and it was primarily to limit it to one pump station using gravity flow-based connectors, routes to minimize the need for backup infrastructure on that project. We had Neil Sullivan from Penn State University provide a presentation on a proposed 60-acre expansion to the ARL at PSU Innovation Park. And this proposal is asking for a regional growth boundary extension with UAJA providing sewer service to accommodate future growth and development at Innovation Park. A DRI report was presented, and the Lucy members were asked for comments. It was noted that the university could not find adequate acreage, continuous acreage, within the existing growth boundary to meet their needs. The committee postponed making the motion to forward a recommendation for this project's DRI to the general forum, pending more specific information on why the university couldn't accomplish its goals within the existing growth boundaries. The committee will review additional information at our meeting in March. The last topic was a quick review of the Center Region sustainability trends. Included were climate trends, weather-related power outages, energy consumption patterns, energy sources, and renewable energy development. And just a final note, there was a review of the lands within the regional growth boundary. The total lands available currently is 3,321 acres, with 1,723 acres already approved for development, allowing for a potential of 7,046 units. There's 1,598 acres of vacant land available, allowing for an additional 7,300 units. And there's 63.6 acres for non-residential uses available yet within the growth boundary. And that sums that one up. If I can get back to Spring Creek water shed. That was a reorganizational meeting. They did a nice presentation to 3 new members on that board. The cleanup last year was really effective. They listed a number of thousands of pounds of trash that was picked up in that project. The new project for 2026 is Two Deck Park. Is got a regenerative stormwater project that Fish and Boat is working on providing a grant, as well as there's some other contributors to that project. And apparently there's a stream that runs through the park that collects water currently, and it's pretty well run down and dilapidated, and it's causing water to go places they don't want it to. So they're going to start possibly in July of cleaning up that stream bed, putting in water diversions or water calming control tools, and ease stormwater impacts for that runout area. 4/02 of 26, so April 2nd is the 3rd annual watershed event, and on the 18th of April is the planned watershed cleanup day at 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., and our next meeting is the 18th of March. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. And we just have anything from the... Oh, okay, I was just going to check with Karen yet on the CNET Board of Directors. Okay, Ron, did you have a question on...
I did. I had a question with regard to, I heard it mentioned twice, regard to the Meeks Lane pumping station that has to do with UAJ. Did they, in any of those discussions, did they mention anything about increasing capacity?
In terms of including Halfmoon Township or potential future growth in the township?
Yeah, we had this discussion in 2024, and UAJ at that time basically pulled any plans to increase the capacity of that station. So I'm just wondering if they have changed their minds or if any changes occurred with regard to that.
No, the current plan for the Meeks Lane upgrade does not include any growth that may happen in Halfmoon Township.
Okay, thank you.
That was pointed out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do we have anything for the CNET Board of Directors? So Karen? Okay.
No, I didn't make the January meeting, so there isn't anything until the next meeting.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Karen.
Sure.
All right. And now we have staff reports, and we have written reports with new structure and content, which I think will provide more overall information about what's going on with staff. And Amy, you have the secretary report.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you want to highlight on that?
There's nothing, no, unless anybody had a question.
Okay, so we had different things that went on in the office for the last month. Great, appreciate that. And treasurer report. Brett?
Nothing of real importance. It's your typical year-end, W-2s, 1099s, getting ready for the new tax season.
Okay. Thanks, and I know you provided a lot of data on there too with what was going on with the budgets and things, so appreciated. And we have our roadmaster report.
I didn't have anything to add as far as from what was written, but certainly happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
If there's
No, we just appreciate all the work you and your staff did with all the snow that came down.
We'll see what we continue to get
So
to finish
thank
out
you.
the winter.
Yeah, and I appreciate the change in everybody's reports. They're more concise, more thorough, more information. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well,
All right, so we will move on to the consent agenda. We have 3 items on the consent agenda this month. One is the approval of minutes, February bills list, and the appointment of Dan Truax as a seasonal public works laborer. Does anyone want to pull any of those?
Madam Chair, I would like to pull CA3 from the consent agenda.
Okay. Do we vote on that? Or does it just happen?
I think, will we vote on the rest of the consent agenda then?
Yeah, I guess we vote on the rest and then we'll vote on this one separate. That's what you're looking for, correct, Ron?
Yes.
Okay.
I want discussion on it.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we will, does somebody want to make a motion eliminating CA3 when you read it?
I move that the Board of Supervisors approve items CA1 and CA2 as listed on the February 19, 2026 consent agenda.
I'll second that.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Are there any comments? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Right?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we will look at CA3. Yes, and we'll go ahead and start with you, Ron.
Well, I just had a concern that I know there was an experience in the past that about the availability of Mr. Truax, and I just wanted to make sure that this is something that was thoroughly vetted and that we can actually depend on this person to be available. That was my main concern.
All right. Mr. Beck, would you like to respond?
I mean, I can't speak to his maximum availability, as he does also work for Warriors Mark Township, but he did express interest in helping us as much as he could. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but he did express interest in providing help to us.
What types of things do you generally?
He's more helped with some traffic control and kind of small projects.
So just they're hopefully available when you need little support on things, so not a major.
Helped with our riffraff event and things like that. But,
Okay.
yeah, just as an as-needed basis.
Okay.
So I would like to ask one question. I assume then that you don't have to depend on Dan for your core work that you have to complete.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any comments from anyone else? Any questions? Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
I move to approve consent agenda item 3.
Okay, and
Second.
Second, okay, thank you, Bruce. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion approved. We'll move on to number 6, 2025-05, House Self-Storage Land Development Plan. And we have a narrative there about what is being asked. Ms. Smith, do you have any, would you like to summarize or add anything?
I don't have anything to add. The motions are as the Planning Commission, after their review and approval, that is what they recommend, as
Okay.
well as staff.
So we have 2 motions, and we will do those each separately. So I'll take a motion and a second. If we get it, then we'll have open any public discussion and then have board discussion. So would someone like to move the first motion?
Sure. I move that the Board of Supervisors approve the waiver request to permit consolidation of the preliminary and final plan submission and review processes into a single final plan submission and review.
Second.
Second. All right, and I'll since we have a motion on the table, I'll ask if there's any public comment. Okay, none, and we'll go through. Do any of the board members, we'll start with Bruce. Any questions or comments, Bruce, on this one? No. Tammy?
No, do we have someone here that's representing? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
And I probably should have asked this last time you guys were in, and this doesn't really impact this, but there's going to be obviously additional lighting included, I assume, with the addition of buildings.
Yes.
And is there plans to try to mitigate that lighting and, try not to have light pollution and shining down versus out type of stuff?
Yeah, we filed in our plan revision a lighting plan which shows distribution, and guards were put up to keep the projection from leaving the site.
Okay, because I know there's homes around there, and so, certainly.
Just a question on that, since the use is probably very intermittent, wouldn't that lighting maybe be tied into motion so that,
Yeah.
so that when nobody's there, lights are off then? Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any lights on full-time now? I'm trying to remember.
On the existing development, if there are, there's maybe one or two.
Okay, and with the new, will there be any lights on full-time that are not motion?
No.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay, anything else? Lauren, any comments or questions?
No, this is a pretty standard thing through our zoning hearing process to be able to combine both preliminary and the final plan submission reviews, just to further things along if there weren't any major objections or complications that the planning commission might have found. So I'm good with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ron?
This looks to me like the next step in the process.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And if we're good, okay, then I will say, all those in favor of the motion on the table, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Okay, thank you. We'll repeat the process with the next motion. If somebody would like to make that.
I will move to that the Board of Supervisors approve the house self-storage land development plan, the following conditions: approval of the erosion and soil plan, and NPDES permit by the Center County Conservation District, and a resolution of all outstanding staff comments.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second, all right. Any public comments? Okay, any public comments? Any comments by the board? Anyone? Ron, Lauren? Okay, not seeing anything. Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. We'll move on to number 7, Resolution 2026-12, Halfmoon Acres Component 3 Sewage Planning Module. Amy, again, do you have any additions or any comments on this one?
I do not, thank you.
Okay. Then I will entertain a motion to get this on the table for discussion.
I'll move that the Board of Supervisors approve Resolution 2612 to forward the Component 3 Sewage Planning Module for submission to the Department of Environmental Protection for review.
Second.
Second, all right. Any public, I'll open public comment on this motion.
And again, for clarification, this is just a step in the process, right?
Yes.
This is not an approval or denial of anything. It's just a step in the process that we have to go through.
Okay. Any supervisor comments or questions on this one?
No.
Yes, Ron?
I would just like to repeat that we're basically passing it on to DEP for their review and their process. It's not us approving it.
Correct. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay. All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion passed. Thank you. Number 8, appoint representative to Center Area Cable Consortium, the CACC. And Amy, you have it in here. This is a consortium that's just convened every so often when they have major contract or something needs updated. It's not an ongoing committee.
Right, correct.
It's there for a purpose, and then it ends and comes back a few years later.
When it needs to, yes.
Okay. I know, because I did serve on the last one that was up a few years ago when they did the Xfinity contract. I would be willing to serve again. However, if anybody else has an interest in doing that, that's fine also. Yes, Ron?
I'd be willing to. This is something that only happens periodically. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, I'd be willing to serve on it then.
Okay, thank you. So we could have a motion.
I move to appoint Supervisor Cervello to serve as the Center Area Cable Consortium representative.
I'll second.
I'll second.
Oh.
Pick one.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you, Ron.
Motion passes. Open Space Preservation Program funding request for solicitor services. Last night at the meeting, we have 2 properties currently in the queue that we have committed funds to partner agencies to preserve them, and they both had taken out advanced lease payments when they entered the lease program. So we need a process and the proper legal documentation so that we can recoup those funds when the properties close on the settlement. So we have to have that set up so that we're recouping those advanced payments at the time of settlement. So what the Open Space Board is asking for is permission to spend money for legal advice and documents out of the Open Space Fund for this purpose. So again, we'll entertain a motion and then go to public and board comment.
I'll move to approve the request to spend Open Space Preservation Program funds and direct the solicitor to prepare a legally binding repayment agreement.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. And now I will open public comment. Okay. Seeing none. We'll go around. Tammy, you made the motion. Any comments?
No, it seems pretty straightforward to me.
Okay, thank you. Bruce?
None, thanks.
Okay. Ron?
Is this? Do we have any idea how extensive the work is?
We do not. We're hoping not very, but.
Okay, this is to correct language or
No.
to better make it legal to collect the advance payments in the event that you have a buyout.
No.
Is that what it is?
We have nothing in place that shows the proper process to get that money back at closing. Like, we have to know what the process is and then have the documents for the landowner to sign that this money will be paid back, and then just potentially like a lien or something on that, so to ensure that we get those funds back at closing. So it's the process and the documents involved in order for us to get our funds back.
So we didn't have that before now?
No, we've never encountered this before because we're just starting into the permanent preservation, and we've never had that. Yeah. Because Joanne Fisher, when we did her property, she had not taken an advance payment, so we didn't have to go through this process. But the 2 that are in the queue now, Sam Gray and the Digmans, the owners had taken an advance payment, so we want to get this worked out, and we'll have more probably. So that's where we're at. Any other comments, Lauren?
No, I'm good with it.
Okay. Then all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Strategic plan proposal approval. If you've seen up there, the Board of Supervisors, it's been going on 5 years that we've done any strategic planning work, and we have a proposal submitted by Mr. Prabluka, who has done 2 previous sessions for us. And we sent out a request for a proposal, and he sent us a detailed proposal back. And that was linked in. So this is something we've been talking about and working for. So I'll entertain a motion, and then we will do discussion.
I'll move to approve the strategic plan proposal provided by Mr. Dave Prabuka, not to exceed $10,000.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. And I will now open public comment. Okay, seeing no public comment online. All right, go down. I'll start with Tammy. You made the motion.
I don't have any additional comments. I mean, it's strategic planning is long overdue for the township. That's been obvious in many different situations. So I think the plan that Mr. Prabuka has laid out is very clear and concise.
Thank you. Bruce?
One question, one comment. Question being, how do we feel about this level, this $10,000? Is this possibly excessive? We have nothing else to compare it to, no other bids. In our discussions today, Brett indicated this is coming out of unencumbered, and we're already exceeding budgeted amounts for unencumbered, or will be with what we've kind of already put in that bucket. It's a question. It's not really a criticism. I'm just putting it out there. Should we maybe have another bid?
Okay, thank you. Brett, I think we are covered though, right, if we stay under this amount?
Yeah, you don't have to accept the bids technically by law, no.
Right.
And the 10,000 will come out of unencumbered. There were some unforeseen things that happened once this was some semi-planned for. That caused unencumbered to be used up earlier than typical. But as we go on with the year, we can make adjustments as we need. The 10,000 won't hinder us one way or the other.
Okay, thank you.
I do have one comment though too. In the proposal, we are expressly excluding any form of public participation, public comment. That's the way it's written. My understanding after speaking with Amy is that's actually in accordance with the specification that we gave them, which I did not know earlier. But I would like to see that we include public input to this process by whatever means, and maybe that needs to be discussed. Now, whether or not that has any bearing on the proposal, maybe that's a question too. I'm sure he can shuffle his buckets and dollars and whatever to still not exceed the 10,000, but include some phase of public comment if we agree to do that.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, we'll go to Lauren.
I'd just like to add that all the previous strategic plan meetings were open to the public, and from my understanding, there was never any public participation. The last one was at the COG building, but this is an open meeting. Anybody from the township, any resident, is welcome to attend. So I just wanted to make that point clear as well for Bruce, that it's not a closed meeting, it's not a executive meeting, but this is will be open, and anybody from the community that wants to attend and put their input in while we're discussing the various topics that will be on the meeting are welcome to come and participate.
Okay. And Ron?
Well, as I understand this process, I read the proposal. I don't see in there where the board sits in a meeting and debates some of the issues, the planning issues that each of us would come up with as individuals. And I think it's important that rather than just have interviews independently, individually, that we also partake in a review or a discussion of those same points that we come up with. And I think it's important that we have the opportunity to debate those points or discuss those points in an actual, in a meeting as a group. and not just individual interviews. So and maybe that's in there and I didn't see it, but I wanted to be sure that we had a discussion, on those points once we have a draft of each person's opinions. I don't know how the interview is going to take place, but I've been part of these before. I just want to make sure that we, as a group of supervisors, do discuss those points that we end up with at some point.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's my understanding, and based on how he's run them in the past and from what I've read, he will be talking to staff and he'll be talking to the supervisors, but he's gathering the data and he's preparing for the session that most likely will be an all-day session here, and that is where we will be discussing and prioritizing and bringing all that information together. So, yes, there will be what you're asking for, and I think it's a very necessary part of everything.
All right, thanks.
Yes, and there will be, like Lauren said, the meeting is open to the public to observe, and also when we have the draft of the strategic plan, we will be presenting it during a meeting. We'll take input and feedback from the public, then we will make any updates that are needed, and we will approve. Plus then, once we use that strategic plan, we will be using it to then pull items onto our agenda based on what's on the strategic plan for 1 year, 2 years, up to potentially 5 years. So then the public then has also, when those items appear on the agenda, it'll just be like everything else. You'll have public comment and feedback then. So there will be multiple opportunities for public to review, see, and participate. So that's anything else from the board on that subject? Okay. Then all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Did Ron vote?
He did.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear
Then
him.
we started calling.
Oh, okay, okay. Wanted to make sure I got him. Okay. All right.
I can't work the microphone fast enough.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. All right. I will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
Don't have Chuck to second. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.